Aw, good morning. I'm gonna be there in a minute. There I am. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning, Pep. Good morning, Michael, aka Haggard. Good morning. J Rance was in here early, so was TV2 Live. How nice of you to leave a message. I just love seeing messages when I start the live. It's so amazing to me. Sorry, I don't like my. Hi, good morning, Oomph. Oh, good morning, J Rance. And that was really nice. That's so nice to see messages. So thanks for doing that. It means a lot. I don't know what's going on over here. Okay, anyway. Well, good morning, meowing. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. We're all in our places with bright, happy faces. Hi, Paul J. This is the way we start our new day. Oh gosh, I think I need some more coffee. I still have a little morning throat, if you will. I haven't prepared my voice. Yes. That's what us singers do. We prepare our voices. I don't know what that means. Actually, it's probably just like wake the fuck up. But yeah, no, I've been getting high. Well, after I drove my darling daughter to work, obviously, came back home and had a minute to just get really high, and that's really great. Yeah, badge, man, you don't even know. I have a totally different show now for today. I stayed up very late curating today's show, and obviously will break for anything that's happening. But there are a couple things that I wanted us to catch up on. Notably, the United Nations Security Council. I don't know if y'all watch that or if you're watching it, if it's still going on. But I have that queued up because I really wanted to watch it. But and then I watched Viktor Orban this morning. That was bonkers bananas. Okay, this whole thing with JD Vance and all of the propping up of Orban and all of the obvious Russian operations that have already literally been uncovered and reported on by institutions that don't want to get sued, like the Washington Post. So they're going to do something to make sure that it's okay, right? Like it's verified or whatever that is. Literally, we're talking about false flag operations and a pretend assassination planned by the Russian security services in coordination with Orban's party and Orban, obviously. And it is just like everything is just right. It's not even hidden. And like, I don't really quite understand. This to me is like a really, like a very important moment, I guess, or a significant demonstration of the corruption of our regime. I guess that's really what I thought. And really, okay, so here's the other thing you need to, well, if you don't know this about Orban, which I'm assuming everybody does know, and like I'm the last one to know, right? That's usually the way it is. But anyways, Orban is hell bent on putting a target on Ukraine and accusing them of trying to infiltrate their country, trying to overthrow their government, trying to take over their country, you know, all the stuff, right? That's what he's saying. And JD Vance is right up there with him. Like literally, and what Orban was talking about this morning was the real enemy is Brussels. This is literally setting up a us or them, which guess who we're going to end up going with just for the fun of it. Like I don't even here's my real theory. My theory too is that China's just sitting back there going, "You know what? You guys figure that out. We'll see you later. Okay, bye. We'll be over here waiting for you to do what you need to do to each other, and then we'll be back." Like, I don't even get it. I do not get it. It's just so ludicrous to me. Anyway. Well, so that's how I felt this morning. Yeah. I also was watching stupidly, like a stupid head, the War Room this morning because I'm an idiot. I guess I was high and I ended up on that. And so I clipped this little gem that I just put up on. I'm not even going to make a video about it. I just put it up on Blue Sky. Yeah, War Room. Yep. Anyway, so here's this is the guy who does the coffee. This is the guy that does the coffee. You know what I mean? Like, he's the coffee guy. And he's commenting on, whatever Steve just asked him, which I can't honestly remember what it is. But let me see. Where is it? Oh, is that my... What? Okay, wait. What's going on here? Why aren't you clicking on that? Oh, okay. You are clicking on that. Why can't I play it? Oh my God. Well, okay. I'll just go to my Blue Sky. Fuck it. Fuck it. Blue sky smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Make sure you give a like to the video. Oops, oh, it's the wrong picture. Wrong picture, sorry. Make sure you give a like to my pinned post, my pinned cloud. I don't know what the fuck it is. Because Bobo made this for me, this little supercut. And I loved her for it. So anyway. Okay, yeah. So this is, I just said Jesus Christ. That's really literally all I said. All right, so let me get this on the...
It seems like these red lines keep getting pushed out every couple of weeks. There's a new red line, and we keep escalating further into this conflict. I think once we go past a certain point of no return, there's no de-escalating. We just have to finish them off, and hopefully the Iran regime will come to the table, and we don't have to bomb all their power plants and desalinization plants and basically cripple the Iranian people. But President Trump's on a mission. We'll see what he does. It seems like these red lines keep getting pushed out every couple of weeks.
Yeah. That's what the coffee guy says. So, there you have it. And Steve is just, I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess you're right. Where's that extra pen I was looking for? Oh, it's up my butt. Anyway, Genocide Java. Yeah, right? So don't buy whatever coffee that is. I can't remember what it is. Black something. Black Watch, or I don't know. I'm not sure. 90 million people live in Iran. I just don't even understand this. Oh, Warpath Coffee. Thank you, J Rance. J Rance knows all of the podcast chuds. All the podcast chuds J Rance knows. Yeah, so anyway, that's those guys. Scary. But what I was thinking that we would watch... Oh, where did I put it? Well, now what did I do with it? Oh, it's actually there. Okay, sorry. Is the... unless you folks are feeling otherwise, to try and watch some of the UN Security Council on the Strait of Hormuz, if that's all right. Let's see. I want to start... I know it started shortly before we
ولا تحترم
went live.
قراراته بل وتتجاهلها. أما اعتماد هذا القرار من مجلسكم الموقر اليوم فسوف يبعث برسالة قوية وموحدة بأننا نقف صفا واحدا لصون القانون الدولي، وبأننا سوف نحمي الأرواح المدنية والتجارة العالمية. I shall now make a statement. No, I did. I resume my function as President of the Council. I shall put the draft resolution to the vote now. Will those in favor of the draft resolution contained in document S/2026/273 please raise their hand. Those against? Abstentions? The results. The result of the voting is as follows: 11 votes in favor, 2 votes against, 2 abstentions. The draft resolution has not been adopted owing to the negative vote of a permanent member of the Council. I now give the floor to those members of the Council who wish to make statements after the vote. I shall now make a statement in my capacity as Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Kingdom of Bahrain. أصحاب السعادة، تعرف بلادي مملكة البحرين ودولة الإمارات العربية المتحدة والمملكة العربية السعودية كل مشروع القرار نعيد التأكيد أو التهاون في فرضها على دول الجوار التي دعا مجلسها كأزمات عابرة. الاقتصاد العالمي وصل بحرية الملاحة وضمان عدم استخدام الممرات البحرية كأدوات ضغط أو ابتزاز، فهي لا تزال قائمة وستواصل مملكة البحرين الاطلاع بها إلى جانب كل من يلتزم بالقانون الدولي ويؤمن بالعدالة وحق الشعوب في العيش بكرامة ومساواة دون خوف من المستقبل. وشكرا لكم. I resume my function as President of the Council. I give the floor to the representative of the United States.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your statement. In mine, I want to be
Some
clear.
of our friends got
I want to be
some.
very
Thanks,
clear
Jay. We'll play a
that the
song
United
after.
States stands with Bahrain. The United States stands with the people of the Gulf at this moment of reckoning. Colleagues, this is a time for choosing, and the
Oh my God, it's Tammy Faye Rumsfeld. Look it, she's right there. Oh my God, she's still alive. I can't believe it. Hi, Jane. Oh, thanks, Jay. We're gonna play a song after, or as soon as we can. Okay, I'll bear. Okay, babe. I'm gonna shut up now.
countries that just opposed this resolution, led by the Kingdom of Bahrain, have chosen to oppose them. Just over 3 weeks ago, this council adopted a resolution which garnered a record-setting, a UN record of 136 co-sponsors with no opposition in this council. It was the most supported resolution in UN history, and that resolution clearly demanded that Iran immediately cease its attacks and threats against neighboring states and condemned its obstruction of safe civilian shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. As President Trump explained in his statement last...
And who started this? Wait, I'm sorry. Who started this? Can you tell me again, Mikey? Who started this? Oh, yeah, that would be us. We are the drama. We are 100% the drama. Okay? Yes, he's tantruming. Actually, he can get worse, Grace Lisa. Good morning, by the way. He can get far worse. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But yeah, that's what he's doing. And look at Tammy Faye Rumsfeld is back from the dead. No, she wasn't dead. I'm just kidding.
Last week to the nation and the
Maybe
world.
she did have one of those life experiences.
We are here because
die and
Iran's
come back.
tyrannical regime
her
has
life.
persisted for decades in escalating its attacks against the American people, our allies in the region, and the world's commercial fleets, in flagrant violation of international law and nearly a dozen resolutions from the United Nations Security Council. Colleagues, 47 years ago, the Iranian regime's first act was to take dozens of Americans hostage. Now, it's taking the Strait of Hormuz hostage, and with it, attempting to take the world's economy hostage. Well, colleagues, that may be its last act. We'll see. Iran has laid mines in the strait. They are firing upon civilian commercial vessels. These vessels are carrying fertilizer, oil, medical supplies, other critical goods around the world. They are threatening the entire world with energy shortages, disrupted supply chains, and possibly even famine. The Iranian regime has deliberately chosen to broaden their war to the Gulf by firing on our allies, not just U.S. military bases, but shooting in all directions. Just against the United Arab Emirates alone, Iran has fired over 500 ballistic missiles, over 2,000 drones, dozens of sophisticated cruise missiles.
Fuck. Thank you. Sorry. God damn it, man. One of these days, I'm going to get this. Anyway, good morning, Al. You're absolutely right. You are 100% right. And the other thing is that these are corrupt motherfuckers who literally see this as their way out of accountability for anything. No taxes, no nothing. A push for wealth. Greed and wealth. So he's not only, he could be a pretend Christian nationalist. He's definitely a nationalist. I don't know what his particular kink is. I can't remember. But, no, and Tammy Faye Rumsfeld behind him, forget about it. I'm so sorry about the audio, you guys. That's so annoying. I'm so sorry about that. We're going to get there. I promise. But here's the thing about that is that are you telling me that he's upset because of less than 5,000 pieces of munition? And that's all they've shot over this entire 6 weeks? Is that what he's trying to tell me? And I'm very high, so I could have like missed some words. I'm being serious right now. But yeah, they can get saved. Oh yeah, no, it's a whole like I get it now. I get it. It's like just I need to be absolved of my sins every time, and then I can move on, and I can just tell myself everything's going to be okay. Which is why I have turned far away from. Hi, Mr. Spock. It is. I've turned away from religion. I think religion is an opiate of the masses, frankly, just to steal a term. And I think it's just harmful. I don't think people know. I don't think humanity knows how to handle religion. Let's put it that way. I don't think they know. It doesn't seem to me collectively that there's far more misses on spirituality than there are, you know, hitting the target. But my thing is that he's describing, I believe, how many munitions have been, levied from Iran over these last 6 weeks, and it sounds like a very small amount in the scheme of 6 weeks. That's all I'm saying. In relation to what we have done and what Israel has done, right? So I don't get it. I really don't get it. I mean, I do get it, but boy, it sure seems like counterintuitive to what is the right thing to do. if that's a dangerous term. I need to smoke more of this U.S. crybaby behavior. I know, it's very enraging. It is. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Hey, Josh, how you doing? Yeah, it's time. SB! Religion is definitely dangerous in today's world. It needs to grow with science instead of against it. Yes, missed you. Missed you too, SB. So glad you're here today. Thank you so much. Welcome to the show. Cry bully. I do like that. That's a great term. Yeah, this is like wake up. We got to wake up. We got to wake everyone up. And we have to say no, and not even status quo. Like, no to the status quo. That's what I say. I love it. Put it on a shirt. Go, Barry. Go, Barry. Go, 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 Barry. When you're praying for the destruction of other countries, you've lost your fucking mind. You're absolutely right, Al. I have some stories lined up about that bullshit. Ending a civilization? What the fuck? This guy... I think RFK swapped saliva with this guy and gave him his brainworm, like that in those horror movies, when they infect you with the brainworm. I think he did that. Plus Barry, and that might be what's stopping Barry the blood clot from doing his job. So yeah, Barry, get it together. Come on, do your job. Because we just need one out of the way. That's all we need right now. I get it. We have a whole nother demon to exercise when it comes to JD Vance. Trust and believe. I understand. The brainworm is transmitted by words and trauma porn. Well, then he's definitely got that. No, it's just it's cuckoo banana town, and and I think it is very much a wake-up call. Oh my God. I feel stupid saying that. But I also feel like people are more worried about Tucker Carlson saying that Trump is probably a demon. People are more worried about that, which granted, I enjoyed watching him say that too. So don't get me wrong. I get the factor. But we definitely, I totally get it, but we are so diverse. Our attention is so divided amongst so many things for a lot of people, not for everybody. There are certainly people who can focus, thank goodness, but that's just kind of what it is. You know what? Meowing, leave it here. You know what I mean? Like, use this as a place to let out the pessimism that you need to kind of get out of your system, because I understand. Yeah, JD Vance. But here's the thing, Al. Peter Thiel is not going to let his investment go to waste. Trust and believe. And actually, in my limited view of chuddom, they are kind of buying JD Vance, and they'll certainly buy him if the big guy, if the brain worm and the blood clot start to get together. If we get that, then they'll see, then they'll turn to JD Vance because they have nothing else. And at least he says bullshit in a speech, right? Like, he's still cool, basically. He's kind of the nerdy guy who's trying really hard to be cool. But he's also got one of the most powerful men behind him, giving him money and propping him up. And they're not going to let their investment go to waste because they have a limited amount of time to lock in all of the corruption, all of the lack of regulation, all of the lack of accountability, lack of taxes, lack of oversight. They're gutting the SEC. They've already gutted the foreign fraud units throughout any of the Justice Department. It's just, they're doing it. They're like Johnny on the march. And my question to myself last night was, okay, if this is like where we're at right now, right before the midterms, what in the fuck, for pro-democracy candidates, what is the plan to unwind once we win the House and the Senate, or pro-democracy? Notice that I say that, okay? So I'm not trying to pick a party. I'm just saying, for pro-democracy caucus, if we take the House and the Senate, what is the plan to unwind the shit? Because you also have a limited amount of time until 2028. So if you do have power that can be wielded, what is your plan and what is the priority to wield? And that should be the question at every town hall. Because who's writing it and where is it? Because those dudes, they won, and they had a fucking Project 2025, and they had Russ Vogt behind the scenes creating all the fucking draft shit and the EOs for the last fucking 5 years. Because that motherfucker walked in day one, said, okay, here we go. Execute this, execute this. Like, he knew exactly what his first 90 days was. Yeah. I know. It's just terrible. Al, true, but I think they're going to turn on the thief. They probably will. Al, that's true. Here, and I say this all the time. Here's how this ends for these guys, okay? Including this motherfucker, all right? They all end up on the side of a wall. That's literally where it ends. I don't care how long it takes. But if you look back in history to every one of these fascist motherfuckers, they, for the most part, okay, not all of them, certainly Putin is still hanging in there, but the rest of them ended up on the side of a wall. Some of them hanging upside down. So, I mean, this is how it ends. History... we're really good at repeating history, frankly. I feel like that's one of, that's in our strength chart, I guess, if you want to call it a strength, which it's not. But we repeat history every day, all the time. And until we get money out of politics or whatever, until we upend the systems, nothing is going to change. No American wants an AI surveillance system. And I do think that's true. Here's the thing, Al. I think you're right. I think there's starting to be a little bit of anti-Palantir out there that's getting stronger amongst people that weren't really necessarily exposed to that and how bad Peter Thiel was. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Ambassador.
Again, not against military targets, against resorts and ports and hotels and civilian neighborhoods in absolute and flagrant violation of international law. The Kingdom of Bahrain has sustained thousands more ballistic missiles, drones, cruise missiles, again, against civilian neighborhoods. Iran has deliberately chosen to broaden their war even further. Iran's foreign minister, Arachi, has stated now the Strait of Hormuz is now Iranian territory. That's quite the pronouncement. And that they will treat it as their own territory. Again, holding the world's economy hostage. This was their choice to deny the world oil that's needed to heat their homes, African and South Asian states who need grain and fertilizer to pass freely through the strait in time for planting season in spring. As we speak, colleagues, as we speak right now, 80 UN and international humanitarian groups delivering medical aid, shelter, supplies, and food to humanitarian crises in the Congo, in Sudan, in Gaza, cannot pass through the strait. No one should tolerate that they are holding the global economy at gunpoint. But today, Russia and China did tolerate it. They sided with a regime that seeks to intimidate the Gulf into submission, even as it brutalizes its own people during a national internet blackout for daring to imagine dignity or freedom. Now it seeks to punish the world as cynical leverage in its death to America approach to foreign policy. Colleagues, the blight Iran has inflicted upon us, you, and its own people, it did not begin on March 11th. It did not begin February 28th or even today. For nearly half a century, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the world's leading state sponsor of terrorism, has built its reason for existence on the violent exporting of a revolution. It's built its reason for existence on intimidation and terror. And I commend Bahrain and everyone who voted with this resolution for saying enough is enough. It has attacked American embassies. It has murdered hundreds of American diplomats, service members, and civilians. It has bombed American barracks and businesses. It has tried to bomb our cities. It has even repeatedly conspired and failed to assassinate the President of the United States. The perpetrator of that Iranian plot was just convicted right down the street in Brooklyn in an American court. Thank God. This year alone, multiple agents of the Iranian government were convicted and intercepted in other plots to kill the president and an American-Iranian dissident who spoke right here at this council, Masa Alinejad, all in clear violation of Security Council Resolution 1373, which prohibits states from supporting acts of terror. 47 years and counting, colleagues, Iran has campaigned against peace in the region by any means necessary. Just this January, it slaughtered tens of thousands of its own citizens, as we discussed right here in this council. But yet, the regime then promised no more executions on its citizens. But what are they doing? Violating that promise, and instead are slaughtering, on average, one Iranian per day. People who dare to protest their own government. Iran has also armed terrorist proxies, targeted civilians, strangled shipping lanes, and destabilized governments. As a 2019 UN Secretary General report affirmed, it has hidden and encouraged its proxies to hide behind civilians and civilian infrastructure to attack Americans and our allies. The Secretary General himself affirmed Iran hides military hardware in hospitals and schools and civilian neighborhoods for propaganda purposes in the most sick and despicable way. Don't take that from me. Take that from the Secretary General in his own report. And now, according to the UN's UNICEF, the IRGC is openly recruiting children as young as 12 to be child soldiers. Right now, as their country suffers, they are spending millions per day to enforce an internet blackout on those same civilians and those same children that they are executing for daring to protest. Why is all of this happening? Because regional peace is a threat to Iran. Apparently, it's not good, or apparently it's bad for China and Russia too. It exposes the Iranian regime for what it is, which is a dictatorship punching at the kneecaps of its neighbors who have realized a better future for their people. Just across the Strait of Hormuz, cities like Dubai, Doha, and Manama, and Riyadh beckon the Iranian people for a better future. That's the threat, colleagues. That's what the regime doesn't want to see for its own people. Right across the Gulf, there is a brighter, better future, a different model. And they will not have it, and they're attacking it at every turn. I recently heard, colleagues, from an Iranian dissident, one who has been repeatedly harassed, threatened, and is in hiding. This Iranian dissident told me, do you know what the Iranian people fear the most? They fear that America will stop. They fear that we'll stop too soon. And that a new future, this is from the dissident, a new future, one who looks like what its Gulf neighbors have provided, will not come for them. Well, today, colleagues, certain countries stood in the way of that future, and the United States voted to protect that future.
Al, do you think he has those too? Do you think he has those too? Oh my gosh, Mike learned exactly how to lie. Okay, he's not stupid. He is like the ultimate cockroach. He survives all of the nuclear blasts so far. I don't think he's going to enjoy Nuremberg 2.0 though, cuz he is going. He is going. Yeah, so he should be ready. Actually, I need to add him to the pews at Nuremberg 2.0 in my collage. Remove him. Remove him. Yes, Bob. Yes, remove him. Yeah, no, away with you, sir. Yeah, no, he's going to be in trouble. He's going to be in big trouble. But Al, you're right. And here's the thing. I was listening to Democracy Now! This morning on the radio, actually, when I was driving, on the old-fashioned old radio. And Amy was interviewing, I believe, an observer from the ground, and talking about Israel's bombing of Gaza and what was actually happening, and just the amount of arms that is and has been by both parties provided, that Israel is one of the largest recipients, if not the largest. I'd have to check. I don't recall exactly what he said, of arms from the United States than any other country. I don't know. It might be Saudi Arabia and other things, but I'll check that fact because I would like to follow up on this. Yeah, Children of the Corn. I do have Children of the Corn too. But so it, here's the thing, and have been supporting genocide. And I think, certainly my eyes have been opened, right? That's, definitely, I feel like I have learned a lot, thanks to the lounge, frankly, and people within the lounge and people outside of the lounge for a long time. Yeah. And I've been looking at like AIPAC and because my big thing too is that a practical step that needs to be taken, and this is really a challenge for this, proposed when we take the House and the Senate kind of thing, whenever pro-democracy candidates have a majority in the House and the Senate, let me put it that way, because I really don't want to, I want to move away from the whole like placing this on the Dems. I don't have the confidence in everybody to really upend the system, right? They're doing a lot to try and squash Mamdani's, I should say, there is a lot of media. I want to really choose my words more carefully. There is a lot of media that seeks to paint Mamdani as a failure, and I know just the tiniest bit about New York City politics, having been involved with the Department of Education. So I just know, even from that limited view, that New York politics is the most fucking cutthroat bullshit. Doing favors. Like the whole thing is just like really fucking cutthroat, and frankly, not a very nice place to be. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think, in my eyes, Mamdani has a very daunting task with, the city council and others. So I'm interested and following what is happening for him and what's working and what's not working, because guess what? Things will not work, and that's okay too. That's how you actually learn. And I far more believe that he has plans for evaluation and other things than I might another mayor. Anyways, all to say that I think that if we are not ready to really take significant action, if the pro-democracy majority does not take action to remove money out of politics, and I mean all money, like fucking, let's, if you want to take something, you can have them donate to a basic fund that is spread across all of the candidates, right? That's what happens if you want to make private donations. And otherwise, I'm sure there's some kind of presidential fund we pay taxes on. I think that people opt into that. So anyways, yeah, Tammy's one of my favorites. Tammy Ray. I call her Tammy Faye Rumsfeld because she's like a female Donald Rumsfeld, but even more stupid and sycophantic, if that's possible. Yeah. Anyway, because Rumsfeld loved himself a lot. He did it more for the Riz. Bye. Hey, Cash App Miho. Have a great day. Oh, wait, where are you? Okay, you have a great day too. Taxpayer funded elections and time limits on campaigns. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think and here's the thing. I don't have any of the answers, really. I think there are very smart young people within, all the movements that have wonderful ideas that could upend the systems that have been holding back, or keeping us in this repetitive cycle of bullshit, right? I just think that's like something that would, that is possible. I see possibilities in that. But it's going to take a commitment. And I'm going to tell you right now, Ken Martin, I think, is a fucking GOP operation, because Ken Martin is doing fuck all to do anything to be transformative, anything to really understand. They still haven't released their fucking postmortem on the 2024 election. Oh, it's just Cash. But YouTube blocked it. Oh, okay. Anyway, so that's the thing. If they're not willing to really forcefully use the power that they have, quickly hit the ground running, that's why I feel a good question at a town hall for your congressional candidates is, what is the actual, if it's a Democrat, what is the Democrat plan to unwind the fuckery, right? The fuckery that we are facing, because there are people who are incredibly suffering, and unless we do something to address what their suffering is, we're fucked, and we don't really mean it. Then we're not pro-democracy. Then we're pro-corporation. And those days are gone. The days of lording the corporate CEOs and letting them have unlimited compensation. Establish a ratio that you have to have if you're a publicly traded company or something. I don't know what. You could make all kinds of rules around it. Have a rule that your salary can't be beyond a certain ratio to your staff. Hi Sharon, how are you? Right? Okay. I don't know. I think that's a little tough, right? But guess what? That's how we get to a more perfect union, where people really do have an opportunity for for life. Right? I want my tax money back. Right. I get nothing, including representation in Congress. Right. I understand. I vote for anyone not taking Israeli money. Well, that certainly is a start. If people pro-democracy candidates are not rejecting AIPAC, number one, out of the gate, after what has happened, then they don't deserve your vote. But they need to know that. Like, people need to be able to communicate that too. Otherwise, they can just fucking keep going in their fucking, keep their head up their ass. The candidate, I mean, not people. I think maximum ratios make sense, right? Remember the guy who in the Northwest was like, everybody made 70,000. It was way back, but everybody in his company made $70,000, including him. And he had incredible, I thought, following the story for at least the few years after, that there was pretty good success with doing that. And that doesn't have to be the model. You don't have to do that. You can have a salary structure if you want, but it has to be a living wage, and a living wage for the area that you're in. Oh, and that's the other thing. We got to fix rents, okay? Because it is impossible to first of all, qualify. Second of all, find places that don't require huge commutes and other things. Of course, I came from the Bay Area, where it is a completely different place now from when I grew up, and it's fucked because all the rich people moved in and pushed everybody out. And it's bullshit. Anyway, I could go on, but tax the billionaires. Tax wealth, not income. Tax wealth, not income. And you know what? You know what they want to do? They want to end taxes, but then the revenue burden is pushed on through these that's why the tariffs are so important. Because there will still be state taxes. There will still be, like they could get rid of the income tax, because that's what they tease all the time, which they basically have done, right, for fucking corporations. So don't get it twisted. It has been done. It has rent control. Yeah. Tax the billionaires. Yeah. Right. Fucking figure it out. We will collapse as a city if we can't make housing affordable for people in the service industry. I mean, that's what happened in the Bay Area. San Francisco itself used to have very diverse socioeconomic levels. And then by the time I was leaving, I think I went to the East Coast in 94, 95. I went to the East Coast in the mid 90s from San Francisco. I was living in San Francisco. And it was still at that point, not affordable, because I don't think that's really something that I could judge for everybody. But there was at least more socioeconomic diversity amongst neighborhoods. Right? And it was all beautiful. It was all part of San Francisco and living in San Francisco. All to say that after I left and this kind of boom really started with the tech bros and all the bullshit, because Silicon Valley was certainly running by the time I left. I was whatever. But it really started to take off, right? And that's when all the venture capital really started to heat up and all that shit. And that's when literally everybody was pushed out. Like, you had to go to fucking, I don't even know, Sacramento to live, or in between Sacramento and San Francisco, right? You couldn't live anywhere. You couldn't live in the East Bay. We certainly couldn't live in the North Bay over by Marin and Sausalito and all that shit. The South Bay, I remember Mountain View as a kid was one of the most wonderful little towns. And within 5 years, it was ruined. Just ruined. I don't know, because I don't know. Anyway, way back when I was a kid. We got to get through this. I'm sorry. I know, but this is your penance for today.
Mr. President, it is not lost on us that as we speak, your people, our allies across the Gulf, and American service members in the region are under a barrage of Iranian missiles and drones. They and you have shown.
I'm not going to get through this one, am I? Yeah, because we started it. They're defending themselves, you moron. Hey, I don't like any kind of fucking restrictive government oversight, okay? I don't dig any regime. I'm not into regimes. I am into human life, though. That's what I'm into. And you started it. Jared started it. This is Jared Kushner. I'm going to go to my grave saying this. Jared Kushner is one of the most dangerous people on the planet. Prove me wrong. I think he is the greatest threat to a truly equitable and peaceful Middle East. I think he is the direct threat. And we're not doing a bloody thing about it. He's just operating probably with the unlimited fucking unlimited kind of access to sensitive information that I am confident he's trading for business deals, laundering money, all the same through affinity partners and his other ventures. He is just one big fucking quid pro quo. That's literally what he is. He's evil and greedy. He is. And he's worse than that. He's very powerful. He is very powerful. He's a close friend, family friend of Bibi, childhood kind of friend, right? Bibi when he came into the States, he stayed with his family, the Kushners in New Jersey, when Jared was just a wee teenager. So he's been a Bibi fan for a long time, and probably his father, who's a criminal, probably owes Bibi a lot of favors, I would imagine. But that's my speculation. I don't know that. And furthermore, he's definitely either close to or a puppet of Putin. He's partners with Steve Witkoff's son, and that is a disturbing relationship. And Steve Witkoff is the envoy, obviously, in Russia, the Middle East, everywhere kind of thing. The enforcer, if you will. And the Joe Pesci. I call him, that's what I've been calling him, Joe Pesci. So Joe Pesci Witkoff flew, when he started his envoyism to Russia, he flew, and I imagine still does, his private jet. So I'm going to tell you, I was in Moscow in 1984 for a few weeks as a student. And I was in Moscow in 1998 as just a tourist. And I'm going to tell you right now, I know for a fact that that plane was so bugged, so compromised, that, you know, I would eat my hat if it wasn't. And he's probably compromised. Because I'm sorry, and I love Russia. I hope you know. Like, I studied Russian in college. I have a degree in language and literature, and I deeply love that country. And it is ruined by these terrible, terrible people, these gangsters, really, that just hurt people. They're not trying to help the proletariat. They're just fucking trying to fuck with people and get away with it. It's the same fucking thing I talk about in this country, that the aim of this regime is no taxes, no accountability, no judgment, no regulations, no oversight. They're dismantling all of that and have been for the last year plus. So anyways, sorry. I guess this is my talky morning. And Putin is the birthplace of so much, right? Putin is the drama. I feel like he's kind of like the Wicked Witch of the West in some ways, is that if he did go away, that you actually might have a chance with other members of the Duma or something, which is their kind of parliament, I guess. That you would have, some because like Navalny was very popular. Like, I think if the people felt that they could get rid of the KGB, the KGB, or I guess it's the IRA now or something like that, or the SVR, I can't remember, but FSB, whatever, all the letters. Yeah, I think if they saw a true weakening of, because they're sick of the war, okay, their lives are pretty shitty, I think. At least that's the reporting that's coming out. So I think it would be, I think there's one instance where I think the removal of a person might actually unlock more of the ability of the populace to rise up. Because they do try, and they get really brutalized for it. And they get poison in their underpants. We haven't launched. Oh, Lee, good morning, my love. I hope we haven't, but man, that's the thing. We got to actually, you know what? We're going to just hang tough on that, cuz I want to read. Although we're only an hour in, that's great. Okay, I'm happy about that. Where am I? Here we go. Let me see where my let's see that. No, I don't want to do that. Oh wait, maybe this. Where's all my stuff? Oh, I have them wrong window. Sorry. I had the wrong window. I did. I had the wrong window. I had the wrong window. I had the wrong window. I did. Sorry. Okay, let's do the reading portion of the show now. Oh boy. This just gird your loins, kids, okay? Grab your soother. I don't care what it is. It could be anything. And just get ready to rumble. We got to rise up. We got to figure out how to do that. I'm not sure, but we better figure out how to do that. Okay. This is just the front page of the New York Times. All of what everyone is talking about in the chat. Trump calls to wipe out a whole civilization as Iranians reject threats. The U.S. and Israel stepped up attacks on Iran before President Trump's deadline to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, or the Hormone Straits, as he likes to call them. Iran is said to withdraw from negotiations. Wait, where's my... Oh, see more updates. I'm sorry. I want to... Where do I see? Oh, the journalist was freed, I guess. Okay. That's a good follow-up to that. All right, here. Oh. Okay, here we go. Okay. Taco. Well, here's the thing. Oh, my God. Unfortunately, comedy is one of my coping mechanisms, so forgive. But from a comedic standpoint, I still insist that this cabinet that he has should really think about the 25th Amendment. Now, I know there's a lot involved in the 25th Amendment, so don't get me wrong, but it seems to me that from a survival standpoint, you might want to jump ship before he either fires you or blows up and creates a nuclear wasteland. And I don't know I'm not sure at what level, because we've had a lot of generals and other leadership within the armed services be fired or resign in protest. So I'm not sure if anybody's left that can actually say, "Hey, wait a minute." Like, no. And there probably is. But I have less confidence that it's someone like Raisin Kane. Can't imagine what's on his tape. How about the removal of a SCOTUS? I know, that's the, has a SCOTUS ever retired? Yeah, we've had SCOTI have retired. I think they've been teasing about some retirements this year for some reason. I don't know. Now, something has changed in the last month or so, because with the tariff ruling, or a few months, the tariff ruling really upset him, and he realized that not everyone is going to vote with him all the time, that he doesn't have the rubber stamp that he thought he did. So, unfortunately, that's the reality on that. So yeah, I don't know. Oh boy. Oh man. Oh boy. Okay. All right, here's the latest from the New York Times. President Trump threatened on Tuesday to wipe out a whole civilization, and the U.S. hit military targets on Iran's main oil export hub as he ramped up pressure on Tehran to fully open the Strait of Hormuz or face devastating strikes on critical infrastructure within hours. In response, Iran has stopped engaging in talks to halt the fighting. According to 3 Iranian officials who spoke on condition of anonymity to describe sensitive diplomacy, those talks through mediators from Pakistan and other countries had yielded little but escalating rhetoric and demands from both sides. The United States and Israel stepped up their attacks ahead of the 8 p.m. Eastern deadline Mr. Trump had set for Iran to allow unimpeded shipping through the strait, a key oil and gas shipping route. He issued his grave warning on social media, of course, as U.S. forces struck Karg Island, the oil export hub, as part of a broader effort to force Iran to make a deal, according to American and Israel officials with knowledge of operations who spoke on condition of anonymity. Quote, a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. I don't even know what the fuck. Like, I know what that means. But I guess I don't know if it's good that I retain my sense of shock when I see him say these things. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, frankly. Because I certainly don't have expectations that he's ever going to say anything that's, not problematic or downright evil like this. I mean, you guys, I think we're with this Orban visit this morning from JD Couchfucker, with that standing by the side of someone who's literally attacking our allies like Brussels, or Belgium or whatever, or the EU, right? That's fucking scary. Like, I don't get that. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it. You know what I mean? All right. Never to be brought back again, the American president wrote, adding that he hoped maybe something revolutionarily wonderful can happen to avoid the attacks. We will find out tonight, one of the most important moments in the long and complex history of the world. So is he saying that there's some kind of revolution underway? Is this the CIA? Is this John? Is this John? Does this have John Ratcliffe all over it? You guys, yeah, isn't that, well, I think Iraq holds the place as the seat of civilization. Am I wrong about that? Mesopotamia or something? I might be incorrect. I'm not very good on that stuff. Yeah, no. And the thing is that it's been, we shared some reporting, probably from you, Teresa, about the fact that Jared also just convinced Dump that the negotiations were going to be terrible, and that's what started this whole thing. So Jared is the drama. Again, never forget. Never forgive. Just kidding. I don't even know. Okay, on Monday, the president said at a news conference that if Iran did not end its effective blockade of the strait, every bridge in the country would be decimated. Or obliterated, I guess, if you want to use a word he loves. And every power plant would be out of business. Striking civilian infrastructure could be a war crime. I love the could be. I understand, but my God, can we just pick a side? Can we just pick a lane? A war crime under international law. Ibrahim Zolfagari, a spokesman for the Iranian military, has said that Iran would retaliate crushingly and extensively if its civilian infrastructure were attacked. Some Iranians were bracing for the possibility of more strikes, while others were responding to the American threats with a mix of indifference, defiance, and bewilderment. I think Trump is under a lot of pressure and that he has lost his mind, said Lily, a Tehran resident who asked not to use her full name out of concern for repercussions for speaking to foreign media. She and her family were not planning to flee the city, she added, because there was nowhere to go. Some Iranians on Tuesday formed human chains along bridges and power plants across the country. Videos and photographs posted by state and other local media showed. It's unclear whether the demonstrations were spontaneous or planned by the government. I don't know. Gosh, does it matter? Because there's people. I don't know. The Israeli military said it had launched airstrikes on 8 bridges across Iran and warned Iranians not to ride railroads until 9 p.m. local time. Iranian state media reported that at least 3 people were killed when a railway bridge was hit in the central city of Kashan. Iran targeted energy facilities in the Persian Gulf countries allied with the United States. Saudi Arabia's defense ministry said that debris from an intercepted missile had fallen near energy facilities in the east and that the damage was being assessed. The United Arab Emirates defense ministry said missiles and drones had been fired from Iran. I think they need to prove it. I'm thinking of Diego Garcia. Negotiations between Iran and the United States had been mediated by Pakistan and other regional allies, which had proposed a 45-day ceasefire. On Monday, before withdrawing from talks, Iran had delivered a separate 10-point plan to end the war to the United States and Israel through Pakistan, according to Iranian state media. Okay. Britain is hosting a virtual meeting. Oh, yeah, wait. About how to secure safe passage. I did see something about that. We might take a look about that. Death tolls. The human rights activist news agency said at least 1,606 civilians, including 244 children, had been killed in Iran as of Friday. Lebanon's health ministry on Thursday said more than 1,500 people had been killed in the latest fighting between Israel and Hezbollah. In attacks blamed on Iran, it sounds to me like Israel's just attacking Lebanon. I mean, you know. In attacks blamed on Iran, at least 50 people have been killed in Gulf nations. In Israel, at least 20 people had been killed as of Monday. The American death toll stands at 13 service members, with hundreds of others wounded. So that is what the New York Times is saying. Let me check in with chat. JD was supposed to assist Witkoff and Jared. He went to Jared. Yeah, JD is one evil motherfucker. And so that's why I will definitely celebrate Trump's death, because frankly, I just don't want to hear him anymore. I just don't want to hear him. I don't want to hear him. Oh, it's 19. See, that's what I thought, SB. I thought there were more people who had died. Yeah, Malcolm Nance. I thought I had heard it was more than 13, but you know, New York Times. 300 wounded. Oh my gosh. I just, I can't remember what I was going to say. I wanted to find that. Let me find that thing. Because I was kind of interested in that. It might not be interesting. Oh no.
And so.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm sorry, everybody. Hold on. I know. Oh man. I bring you just the best stuff, okay? I just want you to I want you to think about that. I want you to put that in your head. Let's see. When did we start? Oh, God. This is coming for California.
Each of these cases represents countless hours of dedication from the prosecutors. For example, just this week, and it's only Tuesday, a criminal defendant was sentenced and the department obtained 2 additional guilty pleas in matters totaling over $500 million in healthcare and COVID fraud. If you think about that, just since yesterday, we had a guilty plea in a $160 million healthcare enrollment fraud scheme and a sentencing in a $100 million COVID-19 fraud and a guilty plea in a $160 million healthcare fraud scheme as well. Each of these cases represents countless hours of dedication from the prosecutors and the federal agents and local law enforcement who work them. The Department of Justice is holding criminals accountable for stealing over $500 million from taxpayers. And across our U.S. attorney's offices, all over this country, we currently have over.
See, I learned this with the first fraud press conference. Always document how much money he says now. So now it's $500 million. Because I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be in the billions in about a week. Because that's what happened with the last one. In fact, last time when I think it was Pamela Joe, way back when she, or whoever was there saying, oh, we have fraud in Minnesota, right? Literally. Someone asked them, and I wish I had clipped it, someone asked them, well, can you tell us exactly how much is fraudulent? Because what they said at that press conference was that they didn't know the amount. They wanted to do the investigation, but that the total was $9 billion. Very different from now the story is the fraud was $9 billion or $19 billion, depending on the day. So disinformation is also something that we need to address. I don't care if it's a label. I don't care if it's media literacy in schools. I don't care if it's all of the above. But we have got to fucking call a thing a thing. If it is disinformation, call it your opinion, but do not call it news. And I don't know how you police it, but I'm telling you right now, we better start demanding it. Because this disinformation thing has fucked us beyond recognition. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Over 8,000 fraud matters underway. Unfortunately, as you've heard a lot about recently, because it's true, these cases represent a fraction of the fraud ripping off our country every day. Thanks to the leadership of President Trump, this department, working closely with the task force to eliminate fraud, is supercharging efforts to take down every fraudster and bring them to justice. I want to thank the Vice President and Anti-Fraud Task Force Chair Andrew Ferguson for their focus on this issue and for empowering this department to go after criminals who steal from the government like never before.
Teeing up JD.
Our goal is to prevent this from ever happening again. Because of this administration's leadership, fraudsters, scammers, tax cheats, or anyone who lies to get rich off the generosity of the American people should be on notice. Now, this isn't new for this department. We have a storied history of combating fraud and bringing criminal actors to justice. But the department has never adopted a comprehensive and coordinated approach to investigating and prosecuting fraud against taxpayer dollars and taxpayer-funded programs. With over $1 trillion at stake every single year, threatened by increasingly sophisticated and opportunistic fraudsters, the time for this comprehensive and coordinated approach is now. And so today, I'm proud to announce in greater detail the creation of the National Fraud Enforcement Division. Its core mission will be to zealously investigate and prosecute those who steal taxpayer dollars and rip off the American people. Our vision is to build a robust fraud-fighting squad capable of...
This is the war on states. That's what this is. This is the war on states. States' rights are not going to be a thing. They don't want states' rights to be a thing. So that's what's being launched here, is get to states, especially blue ones or purple. That's what this is.
Investigating and prosecuting the full spectrum of fraud against taxpayer dollars. We are going to staff this division by some of the department's best prosecutors, bringing together experts in healthcare fraud.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Who are you going to choose, turd? Who are you going to choose, turd? Lindsay Halligan? Oh, is she not returning for season 8 of South Beach Tow? I'm sorry, is she? I thought she was returning as a cast member to South Beach Tow for season 8. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong. Well, Pam's not around anymore, so I guess you can't really ask her. You've lost an awful lot of cases for the president, so you're not probably the right one. I don't know, turd. Who are the good lawyers you've got? Because you don't really win a lot. I mean, you do when you get to SCOTUS because you paid them. And Justice Thomas and Alito get big money from Nazi billionaires. So, yeah, turd. What are you going to do? What are you going to do for lawyers? You're bleeding lawyers.
Tax fraud, benefits fraud, and corporate fraud under one roof with one mission: to protect the American people from fraud. Every U.S. Attorney's Office across the country will also be joining this re-energized fight against fraud. This means, in pure numbers, that there will be an additional 93 prosecutors in every district across the country devoted to the mission of combating fraud with the National Fraud Enforcement Division. To the attorneys and staff who join this new division, you will have the entire department's support as you work to protect the financial integrity of our entire government and the tax system that supports it. We will spare no resources in giving you the tools that you need to bring strong cases and do justice. The new division will bring together data and investigators from across the entire government so that you can track down even the most sophisticated fraudsters and hold them accountable. For example, today I am directing the department to establish the National Fraud Detention Center. This Fraud Detention Center will be a permanent, prosecutor-led, multi-agency data analytics team working to ferret out the most harmful actors defrauding federal government programs.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is that a surveillance center? I thought you couldn't proactively surveil people. That's like a warrant shit, right? What? 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 What is happening? A detention center? What the fuck what's it detaining? And where are they getting the data? And who are these people? Wow, man. I don't know.
So to the fraudsters who seek to take advantage of our nation, let this be a warning. The department will investigate you, we will charge you with crimes, and we will ensure that you are punished for your actions. The American people deserve an end to the crisis of fraud, and there is no better prosecutor to lead this mission than newly appointed Assistant Attorney General Colin McDonald, who's standing to my left. In the words of President Trump, he is very smart, tough, and highly respected. Colin is a veteran prosecutor who has spent his entire career as an assistant United States attorney in the Southern District of California. During his time in the Office of the Deputy Attorney General, he championed public safety and law enforcement, and I am confident that the National Fraud Enforcement Division and the entire department will benefit from his experience and his total commitment to justice. I expect there will be more to come in the next days and weeks from Colin and the Anti-Fraud Task Force, but I wanted to tell the American people today what this department is doing to comprehensively attack the fraud crisis in this country. Thank you. I'll take a few questions.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Attorney General. President Trump has made no secret of the fact that he wants to see his perceived political enemies prosecuted. So now that you're in this position, how are you going to balance that relentless pressure with this administration's promise to end the weaponization of this department?
Well, look, first of all, we have thousands of ongoing investigations and prosecutions going on in this country right now. And it is true that some of them involve men, women, and entities that the president in the past has had issues with and that believe should be investigated. That is his right, and indeed it is his duty to do that, meaning to lead this country. And so I do not view this as pressure. I do not view this as something that is going to keep me up at night, except to make sure that we are investigating every case that we have to the fullest extent of the law and using all the resources we can. And when you talk about weaponization, and it's become a word that is supposedly that when we talk about ending weaponization, as if that's a bad thing for us to do. Okay, people in this room.
Wait, what? What? I think so. I think he might be crashing out. He might be crashing out. You know, because he did actually lose a lot of cases. I don't think Dump remembers, but he actually lost a lot of cases for that dude when it was in private practice. Anyway, he said what? Weaponization is not a bad thing? Wait, what? What? You know, like what do people just enjoy being fed pablum and just kind of go, oh, okay, well, this is what I got to eat now, so I'm going to have some more pablum. Okay, well, Todd, turd, if you tell me that, then I'm going to believe you.
Okay, people in this room for 4 years, some of you, the same people, sat here with the last administration when you saw a weaponization of this department, the likes of which had never been seen in history. And some of you are looking down now, and I get it, because you had a president who was indicted 4 times by this department. You had a president who along with this department had assistance. So this department helped 2 other local DAs go after the president. You had this department who stood idly by while states tried to keep President Trump off the ballot. Okay, that's what happened the past 4 years. And so when I'm asked questions or when I see reporting about shock and awe at this supposed weaponization of this Department of Justice, it means nothing to me because it's completely false. What we're doing and what we've been doing for the past 14 months is changing this department. We're no longer, people say the president wants to go after his political enemies. No, the president has said time and time again that he wants justice. And if you look at what happened to him, his family, his administration, the agents that protected him.
Yeah, you know what happened, turd? He's made hundreds of billions of dollars. He's the president of the United States. He's just threatened to wipe an entire civilization off of the map from a war he started with his friend Bibi and probably with the encouragement of his other friend Putin, because chaos really matters. So, turd. Yeah, he's going to be a little triggered now. You're right, Lee. He's going to throw a mantrum. He's going to mantrum a little bit. Here we go.
People that happened to just walk by him on a given day, they got subjected to massive investigations by this department. So I understand the question, and I understand the pretty constant role of the media that somehow this department is weaponizing itself, but it happens not to be true. We have tens of thousands of prosecutors all over this country putting bad guys in jail. Okay, that's something that wasn't happening like it should have been happening for the past 4 years. That's going to happen tomorrow.
What's your
it's going to
data?
happen in the coming days.
Lost her job, though, because she was not successful in that pursuit?
You read the same exact communication from the president that I did. Pam Bondi is a trusted friend of President Trump's, will remain so. And no, nobody has any idea why the Attorney General is no longer the Attorney General and I'm the acting Attorney General, except for President Trump.
Two questions. One, kind of housekeeping. Since you are announced as the acting Attorney General today, when is Pam Bondi's last day on the job? And is this a position that you would like full-time?
So there's a bunch of questions there. So I am the acting Attorney General. As far as Pam Bondi's last day on the job, I'm the acting Attorney General. I'm going with her. We're traveling together tomorrow to a pre-scheduled event. So she'll be with me tomorrow. We've been regularly communicating over the past several days for an appropriate transition. She is very much a big supporter of this department, like she was last Thursday morning. She remains the same, and I expect that will continue. As to whether or not I want this job, I did not ask for this job. I love working for President Trump. It's the greatest honor of a lifetime, and if President Trump chooses to keep me as acting, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate me, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate somebody else and I go back to being the DAG, that's an honor. If he chooses to nominate somebody else and asks me to go do something else, I will say, thank you very much. I love you, sir. So I don't have any goals or aspirations.
Ooh, okay, listen to what just happened. The acting Attorney General of the United States of America just said, thank you, I love you, sir. What? I just don't even know. I don't understand how this works. I love you? I love you? And while he was saying that, what I was really thinking was, literally, this dude is standing there saying, welcome to Costco, I love you. That dude was literally standing there, and he is representing a man who he knows raped a woman, because I think he lost that case, or maybe another guy did, but at least Turd was somewhere in the vicinity, I'm sure. So he knows about that. He probably knows many more secrets that dude has, because he's got to plan his upcoming delayed defense and the next one. And he now knows, and probably did know, that it is credibly reported that Trump raped multiple children. So you have the acting Attorney General, first of all, professing his love for the president on national television. And all the while, he's literally standing there representing someone he knows more about whether or not the accusations are true. And he knows for a fact accusations are true because he lost the rape case. Or another one that looks like him. You can interchange the Trump lawyers to some degree. Yeah, I just, my mind's blown on that one. I don't know.
Aspirations beyond that.
And then just a quick question on fraud, sir. CBS has done a lot of reporting on hospice fraud specifically. What are you doing to clamp down on that? Who exactly are you targeting? Doctors, owners, when it comes to hospice fraud specifically?
Yes. Exactly. I mean, everybody that participates in it. I mean, you see those, that fraud is the question was about hospice fraud. And that's the purest form of stealing from the American people's pockets, in that it is a lot of money designed to help the most vulnerable among us. And so, you know, who are we prosecuting? It depends on who's committing the crime. If it's the doctor, it's the doctor. If it's the hospital organization itself, fine. If it's the families of the patient, fine. Yeah.
There's been a lot.
No, behind you, sorry.
Thank you. How will you
lead this department differently than your predecessor, Attorney General Bondi. Have you had any discussions with the president about what he wants you to do differently?
Yeah, I hope I'm alive for that disbarment. You know what I mean? I hope it doesn't take too long, because I would really enjoy watching that disbarment. We do watch disbarments here. We can't watch them live together, but we can watch them in Discord. Or maybe we can't. But anyway, we do. So, yeah, I can't wait. There's a lot of lawyers. I can't wait to see their licenses go away. I just want to hear I want to hear Phil Fox take away licenses in DC. Hamilton Fox. His name isn't, I guess his name is Phil, but Hamilton. My crush. My lawyer crush. Yeah.
So
He'll
I
do it. He'll take away
will
the
never talk about
licenses.
any communications I have with President Trump. How I will lead
She
differently.
is not going to ask a question, Max.
I'm not comparing
She is
myself
not.
to
She's
to
already
Attorney General
won.
Bondi. I'm going to lead the way that I've been leading as the Deputy Attorney General, which is a job that requires obviously the same type of leadership I need to have now. So.
Question on fraud, real quick. I know this position was created differently, this AAG for fraud, by the White House. Will the will the prosecutors working in this newly created section, will they have a different chain of command? Will they be reporting to the White House or to the Department of Justice?
No. I mean, the Department of Justice prosecutors and support staff that are in the new division are going to report to this man right here, and then this man reports to the Deputy Attorney General and the Attorney General. So that's the way that every prosecution and prosecutor in this country works and will continue to work.
One on the weaponization. Where does the weaponization working group's work stand? Will there be reports coming out of that? Just give us a general update on that. And then, secondly, I just have a question on fraud.
So the work is ongoing and has been ongoing for 14 months now. There's been there's been a lot of results already from that work, if not in written work product. I expect you will see written work product on some parts of the work that's been accomplished very, very soon.
Criminal investigations further?
I'm not going to talk about criminal investigation, what's driving it or not driving it. Go ahead.
Christy Nome, there's been a lot of questions about the firm tied to Christy Nome and the ads that came through that was over $200 million in taxpayer money. Is that something that would fall under the purview potentially of this new fraud unit?
Well, when you say there's been a lot of questions, you mean you all have decided to write a lot about it, hoping that it generates something. So again, I'm not talking about ongoing investigations. If the new fraud division and what the types of cases that it will encompass is pretty broad, but I'm not going to link it to some speculative idea or a question. Yeah.
Acting Attorney General Brett Blanche. My question is this: a number of military and legal scholars have raised questions about bombing a nation's, all of its bridges, all of its energy structure as possible war crimes. What is DOJ's analysis of that position, and could you give us a sense of what you're advising the White House?
We support the Department of Justice, as it always does, supports the Department of War, the White House, Department of State to the extent that's involved, and our intelligence communities to the extent that that's something that's appropriate. And we provide counsel to them, and we have been doing that as you would expect. Go ahead.
You said earlier that this Department of Justice has indicted President Trump 4 times. Can you explain what you base that statement on? Because obviously you now run this department. Are you basing that on your experience as a defense lawyer for the president, or are you basing that
I read it in what you wrote. What kind of question is that? He got indicted 4 times. He got indicted in Florida, and then he got indicted in D.C., and then they superseded in Florida, and then they superseded in D.C. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's not, am I breaking news there, that he got indicted 4 times by the feds? This department indicted him 4 times. Go ahead.
There's been a lot of leads been posted online about fraud. In particular, earlier this year, social media influencers have been talking about this. Are there any of those leads that have been something that have that you're not going to exclude from being part of the investigations under this new fraud unit? Particularly some of the things we saw go viral on X earlier this year.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think not just with fraud, with any crime that anybody investigates, whether it's the feds or state or local, we get leads. A lot of the ways that we solve crime is from the community and from tips. And so we saw a lot of of investigative journalism or just citizens that identified what they believed to be fraud. And that's the way a lot of our cases start, not just in this space. And so, yes, I expect that I think that if you were an FBI agent, you should be willing to take a tip from anywhere. So, in the back, yeah. You.
When your acting AG tells you they love you, you're probably winning too much.
How specifically are you staffing the new fraud
I can't
division?
hear you.
Yeah, how are you going to be staffing the new fraud division? Like, which specific components and units are going to be pulling staff over to it? And more generally, do you have any concerns, just given the there's been a lot of discussion about AUSAs, prosecutors, and white-collar units leaving the department over the past year or being redirected to immigration cases? Do you have any concerns that you're going to have the man and women power to do the type of surge you're calling for?
So the answer to your first question is we're going to staff the new division in a combination of ways, bringing folks over that are here, using U.S. attorneys to detail their prosecutors, but they'll stay in their district, and then hiring, and so it's not limited to one place. And I have zero concerns about the narrative that exists in some of the writings from the folks in this room, from disgruntled formers and what a few disgruntled formers put on LinkedIn. Our department is prosecuting more cases than were prosecuted for 3 years, year over year, stat after stat, crime over crime. And so we can handle a lot of stuff. We can do immigration cases, robberies, drug cartels, and fraud cases. And so we're always hiring. Every administration, there's turnover. So we're no different. I think that the folks that are here, we have the best prosecutors in the world. Our U.S. attorneys are stacked
what
with
about the
prosecutors,
23,000 cases that were
working
dropped
hard
a
every
week
day,
ago?
and I don't think that will change. And so, no, that is, of all the concerns I have, that is not one. Back, yeah.
Thank you, sir. Cameron with Daily Wire. My question is about the emphasis on what states this could potentially be emphasized in related to fraud, sort of staffing there, and then what does the coordination look like with other agencies within the administration? Has HHS been in the loop? Has HUD been in the loop? Are there any particular programs outside of hospice that are major focuses?
So there's every state. So as I said, we're going to do a combination of building up the division here in D.C., but then every U.S. Attorney's Office, which necessarily means every state, and in many states more than one, will have at least one prosecutor dedicated to this effort. And yes, every single federal agency is involved in this. Where we get a lot of our cases is from the OIGs, from their inspector generals. And so we're working, I know that Colin has already reached out and had ongoing communications with virtually, if not every one of them, and that will continue. HSI will be a big partner in this effort. FBI, every federal agency already does fraud. So we're not saying, hey, can you guys start investigating something you've never investigated before? It's really, again, just re-energizing us and saying, listen, we're doing a lot of fraud prosecutions, and it's the tip of the iceberg, and so we need to focus a lot more energy and effort on that. It's nothing that we've seen before, and it will require a lot of coordination, and that's the goal. Yes.
Mr. Acting Attorney General, can you just expand on your comment that nobody has any idea why Ms. Bondi is no longer the Attorney General? It seems like it's kind of a problem if you don't know what it is the President wants you guys to be doing better.
That's an assumption that baked into your question that I don't know that it's true. I mean, the point is that I don't operate every day trying to second guess what President Trump or anybody else is thinking. I just operate every day on doing everything that I need to do to execute the President's agenda and priorities. And I'm not alone in that. I hope every single person that has the privilege to serve in this administration is doing exactly the same thing. So what I was commenting on, and to expand on my comment, is that I grow tired of people in the media saying why President Trump did or did do something, because President Trump's the only one that knows that, and so that was.
You guys are really mean, okay? I don't know why. Where's all the people like from News Nation and Real America's Voice and what's the other one? Fox News. Why do you not have those people in the room? Because usually they just ask me about what Democrat I'm going to go after next, and then we have a good chuckle. but now you're making me feel bad. You guys are making me feel bad, and I think your questions are trying to be really mean and trying to make me like cry, and I might cry in the SUV back to wherever I work. But I'm telling you, you guys need to stop being. This is not how this is supposed to go. It's just not. It's not how it's supposed to go. So I need you to stop it. Just stop it right now. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for your attention to this matter before I lose my patience and say a bad word.
I meant nothing more and nothing less than that. That President Trump's decision for making the decision he did are his own and nobody else's. Go ahead. You already got one. Go ahead, behind you.
Oh, sorry. Now former Attorney General Bondi was facing a subpoena from the House Oversight Committee. Do you expect that she will comply with that, or will this administration, will the Justice Department invoke some sort of privilege to block her from testifying?
So as everybody knows, the Attorney General and I went to the House Oversight a few weeks ago. We answered every single question asked for a couple hours. What happens now that she's the former Attorney General and there's the subpoena out there is I think I'll leave to Chairman Comer and others to figure out. I don't have an answer to that.
You won't be invoking a privilege or anything.
Excuse me?
You won't invoke any kind of privilege to block her.
No, I definitely did not say that. I said I will leave it to Chairman Comer to work out with others. I just don't have an
Good
answer
clarification.
for you. I'm not committing to anything. I'm just saying I don't know. Go ahead.
You said the other day that no prosecutor is left at the Justice Department who worked on those investigations of President Trump, and you said that Kash Patel had cleaned house at the FBI. Those comments have already been cited in 2 lawsuits against the department. How do you respond to critics who say that was an acknowledgement that you guys are firing people for political reasons, career civil servants politically for illegal reasons?
It's not that. I mean, it's not that. It's much more simple than that. I mean, look, if you were a prosecutor and you were trying to prosecute your boss, you have ethical duties as a lawyer that I think prevent you from continuing to work in that environment. And so in this case, what we saw and what President Trump went through, every single prosecutor in this department, whether you're an AUSA or working here, you have a duty to do the right thing. And so in cases where and this is beyond this press conference, but I'm happy to talk about it another time, where you had prosecutors that were absolutely not doing the right thing, okay? And so none of those prosecutors, I hope everybody agrees that they shouldn't work here if you're not doing the right thing. And that's what
Okay, this is very important. First of all, yes, the other important piece is that he said, I'm not committing to anything when it comes to invoking privilege so that Pam Bondi can't tell anything. Well, I don't know. She seems like a true believer. Like, she might be just like in it to win it. Now, the other thing he said is that he's basically commenting on the personnel matters of these agents at I guess, either the DOJ and the FBI or just the FBI, maybe, I don't know. That they are, that those are political firings. And he's basically saying, yeah, if you don't support the president, if you worked on stuff that tried to bring down the president, then that's, then you shouldn't work here. And he's also maligning those agents, saying that they did not do the right thing. Whether or not people want to, that's not what he said. What did he say? What did he say? There's got to be a memo already written that defines the right thing as something very specific. I would love to read that interoffice memo. Wait, what did I get wrong? He said the DOJ attorneys and all attorneys have ethical duties. Oh, okay. But didn't he say something about who's in the office? I must have missed that up. Sorry about that. And that working on those cases was not ethical? Is that what he's intimating? Because that to me is still bad. Still like, that to me seems like a liability for him to say something like that, just from an HR standpoint. And the DOJ attorneys who did law and order stuff violated by doing law and order stuff. Yeah, it's slander. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that's the thing. Like, I think he's breaking a little bit. His little shield is breaking a little tiny bit. Right. Well, I kind of got that wrong, Pep. So I can take the L on that. They would be ethically obligated to step down if they were going after their boss. Is that what he said? Is that what he said? It is not about duty to boss client. Well, I know that. He tell him. No, I'm just kidding.
I meant by that. And, you know, listen, it's been talked about a lot, but what happened the last 4 years is something that will never happen again.
The president yesterday said he was prepared to jail a reporter over who, as they search for a leaker behind reports about the downed Air Force officer. Is there an ongoing leak investigation?
I mean, I can say it as many times as folks ask. I will never comment on ongoing investigations. I think that to the extent that we have seen a series of leaks that necessarily involve classified information and putting the lives of our soldiers at risk or the lives of agents at risk, that is something that we will always investigate. And we will investigate if it means sending a subpoena to the reporter. That's exactly what we should do, and that's exactly what we will be doing. If it means doing regular investigations to identify who within the government feels like it's okay to leak classified information to put lives at risk, then we'll try to root him or her out as well. So I'm not going to talk about ongoing investigations except to say that, yes, we will always investigate those types of leaks. I'll just take one more question.
I just want to follow up on Perry's question. She had asked about who this division reports to, and I know you said it's a standard practice, but when it comes to referrals, will the White House or the task force that's being led by Vice President J.D. Vance, will they be making referrals, and will you be taking those up? And I also just had a housekeeping question. You talked. It sounds like you're putting in like the healthcare fraud section here. You're taking parts from the former tax division, but what about like the civil components that do fraud investigations, like the False Claims Act? I mean, is that part of this too, or is this all strictly criminal investigation?
It's primarily criminal, but I don't think that we want to limit ourselves as I stand here and announce it today, because I don't want to box anybody into a corner for what makes the most sense to do, and so that remains to be seen.
As far as the referrals go, I mean, even if you're not having an official, you know, it's not you're not reporting to the White House, but what if the White House or somebody in the White House says, we want you to investigate this state or this program? I mean, how do you handle that? Because historically, as you know, since Watergate, there's been a kind of a firewall, if you will, on criminal investigations between the White House and the Justice Department.
I mean, that is the most false statement I've ever heard in my life. There is always communication between a president and his priorities and what the Department of Justice should be focused on and not focused on. That is not a new thing in this administration, although I know it sounds fun to say that it is. So as far as whether we would take a referral from the White House or take a referral from you even, yes. I mean, yes, if somebody knows about fraud, please tell us. And so if the President of our United States says, I have heard that there is ongoing fraud in Minneapolis, Minnesota, like any president before him, I hope that the Attorney General would absolutely say, yes, we'll investigate that. All right, I appreciate that, guys. So thank you.
When is Pam Bondi's last day on the job? And is this a position that you would
Okay,
like full-time?
thank you, Gal.
As to whether
Thank
or
you,
not
Gal.
I want this job.
Good morning,
I did
darling.
not ask for this job.
He knows fraud better than
love
I
working for
love
President
working
Trump.
for
It's the greatest honor
President
of a
Trump.
lifetime. And if he chooses to nominate somebody else and asks me to go do something else, I will say thank you very much. I love you, sir.
Oh my God, Gal, thank you so much. Oh my God, I love you. Oh, you need to sign your work. It's so beautiful, works of art. Holy shit. That was really good. That was really good. Wow. You know, here's the thing, and I really do, I mean this. I listen to these idiots because I hear things that are like, wait, what? And then you can clock them for later on. It's the perfect clip. I'll share that on Blue Sky too, so people can, and in the Discord, so people can have it. That's a really good one. I know, Max. We got Gal Squad is not to be matched in their reaction times. These ladies are always watching shit when I'm not even watching, right? Like they literally are all in on that. Let's see. I wanted to do a couple more things while we're here. It's basically, thank you, sir, may I have another? You're absolutely right. No, there's a, like, I don't know what they have on Turd Blanche, but it must be something pretty good because, I don't know, he seems pretty scared. That's what I think. But, although, I think that really was, I meant that with the baby voice thing. I meant that he seems like, why are you guys being so mean to me? You know, like he's genuinely surprised that people would be like, you're a dick. And so I think it's really interesting that he just basically, kind of just proved how sycophantic he truly is. I mean, just saying, I love you, he's the fucking acting attorney general. Like, literally, he's not even White House counsel. If he was White House counsel, maybe I would understand that statement. Spend a lot of time together, you get to know each other, you know each other's likes and dislikes, that kind of stuff. So I get it. But at the same time, like, what? Are you kidding? I don't know. Seems really weird. I'm not sure what to say about that. Okay, so we're just checking headlines right now. Let me just refresh. This is the Washington Post. Washington Post. Fucking Trump is out of control. Whatever. Here we go. U.S. military faces... Remember, these are the people that tried to make Matt Gaetz Attorney General. Yeah. Oh my God. Matt Gaetz is really getting I'm going to tell you, I watched a little clip of Majority Report or whatever with Sam Sater talking about the Matt Gaetz alien clip with Benny Johnson. Please, Ben, please don't take, or wait, what was his name? Is that his name? I'm not remembering. Sam. Please, Sam, do not take Matt Gaetz seriously. Do not take him as just a joke. Do not take him as that this is something he feels seriously he has to share. He's playing a role. And so is Benny Johnson. Remember Benny Johnson, Tenet Media, actually compromised blogger? Please, people, please learn your lore. Please, I'm begging you. Learn some of the lore. But stop taking all this, like that clip. I don't think Majority Report should have ever played that clip. Who cares if Benny Johnson and Matt Gaetz are talking about people having sex with aliens? Okay? It's just, you missed the point. You missed the plot. You missed the plot. Yeah, gonna have a goddamn grilled cheese. Fuck it. I wanted to read this to see if there was anything insightful, although I kind of doubt it. Trump threats against civilian targets put military in legal moral quandary. Dump said the United States would target every, in quotes, Iranian bridge and power plant. Experts say such blanket action violates international law. Boy, they certainly are talking about that a lot. You cannot swing a dead cat without hitting somebody talking about war crimes. Burchett. Yeah, and so that's another one. Tim Burchett. Don't cover him. Like, he's just an idiot. People are starving. Tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions across the country have had their food assistance cut as of April 1st because of state budgets if they kick in at that time. Literally. People are hungry. I don't know. Are you going to make the grilled cheese? I think Burchett wants to grab Uranus for himself. That's right. Oh, he's the Uranus grabber. I forgot. I didn't upload that, I don't think. I should have uploaded that. Okay, President Dump, we're going to read a little bit of this. President Dump spent Monday fending off questions about whether his threat to bomb every bridge and power plant in Iran would amount to war crimes. He rejected the premise. Yeah, okay, we understand. We know he did. A whole civilization. No, we're not going to read that again. I'm just trying to see if there's anything really good. I'm concerned that the president's bombast is putting the operational commanders in a very difficult position, said Jeffrey Korn, who served as a top law of war expert at the U.S. Army in Iraq in 2004-2005. They know that you cannot just draw a circle around a country and say every element of the electrical grid is now a lawful target. Jamil Jaffer, a longtime human rights lawyer and lecturer at Columbia University, said Trump's latest threat to extinguish a whole civilization meets the very definition of terrorism, in quotes, to seek to achieve political ends through violence or threats of violence directed at civilians. He noted that the Pentagon's own law of war manual clearly prohibits threats of violence whose primary purpose is to spread terror among civilians. Military personnel, Jaffer said, have an obligation not to carry out orders they know to be unlawful. Until now, the United States largely has been hitting military targets in Iran, such as ammunition depots, ballistic missiles, manufacturing facilities, mobile launchers, naval ships, and schools. Oh, wait, schools isn't supposed to be on that? You don't want to mention that? Okay. But Trump has threatened that as of Tuesday at 8 p.m., thanks Bezos, he will order the military to target clearly civilian facilities and do so indiscriminately rather than weigh whether each is a valid military target whose destruction would not cause undue civilian harm. International humanitarian law protects from attack objects indispensable to the survival of civilians, so if implemented, the attacks Trump threatens could constitute war crimes, said Harold Hongjuk Ho, a former State Department legal advisor in the Obama administration and now Sterling Professor of International Law at Yale Law School. International humanitarian law, also known as the law of war or armed conflict, is a set of rules that places limits on how countries fight. They have been developed through various treaties and agreements since 1864, when the first Geneva Convention was adopted. In the U.S., decisions on which targets to hit are traditionally made at the combatant command level, U.S. Central Command in this case, with lawyers advising on whether a target is valid under the law of armed conflict, said Michael Meyer, a former Army law of war advisor. In a normal administration, these decisions are made at that level, not at the presidential level. Trump threats come amid a general loosening of legal guardrails by the administration since it has taken office. Officials have fired the top uniformed legal officers known as Judge Advocates General and repeatedly circumvented traditional routes for military service. Oh, boy. This is what Anna Kelly said from the White House. The Iranian people welcome the sound of bombs because it means their oppressors are losing. No, that's wrong, Anna. You're wrong. You're wrong about that. That's not how it works. I think we should drop some bombs near Anna's house. Not that on them. I don't want Anna to get hurt, but I want her to sense how scary it is to have things land near you, because it's a lot scarier than she might understand. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Let's check Reuters. The radical leftists at Reuters. Oh yeah, I really wanted to read something about this. I don't know if this is the story I wanted. Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, no, I don't really have the spirit to read that. I'll be honest with you. Let me see what else I've got. Oh, I really wanted to read. Wait, I want to read this one thing. This is the one I want to read. I want to read this one. This is a climate piece from the New Republic. The Joe Flynn thing. Wait, that is an inefficient way to develop empathy. She might not say that if she were a war correspondent. I think it's a terribly inefficient way to develop empathy, but I'll take anything, any port in a storm. No, I'm kidding. Maybe get them on a panel with people realizing, yes, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't. I don't want bombs dropping anywhere. I don't. I certainly don't. What's the Joe Flynn thing? Wait, I missed it. Just above cheese sticks in the glue pew pew. Carla! Hello, Carla. Oh, so there are experts on such things that newspapers are able to contact. I guess. Yeah, that's true. Oh, boy. That's an inefficient way. Yeah, maybe if she were a war, well, she's not. She works in the White House. She's got it going on. All right, I wanted to read this piece. It seemed very interesting. This is from the New Republic, and it's from today. Sky high oil prices, a fertilizer shortage, now add a super El Nino. This is in their climate work. Just need a berry. A berry would help. I don't think it's going to solve all the problems, certainly, but it certainly would help. Cooter. Hi, Carla Lolo. The knock-on effects from the Iran war are intersecting with other crises and destabilizing the world. The worst may be yet to come. So ending on a real up note, that's what we do here. Sorry. The world is in crisis right now, but the summer is shaping up to be much worse for reasons beyond every country's control, including America's. President Trump's war on Iran is the cause of the current crisis. Iran's retaliatory closure of the Strait of Hormuz to most trade has caused oil and natural gas prices to skyrocket, forcing countries to find creative ways to cut energy demand, and caused a fertilizer shortage that is certain to reduce crop yields around the world while also increasing the cost of agricultural goods. Yeah. All of this comes as economic growth has slowed globally and governments have amassed record levels of debt. And then, in a couple of months, we'll likely have El Nino to contend with too. Welcome to the polycrisis. That term, which was coined back in the 1970s, has gained popularity in recent years, thanks in part to Columbia professor Adam Tooze. Popularly, it's sometimes seen as shorthand for a lot of bad things happening all at once, but that misses its real meaning. A true polycrisis is not a pileup of unrelated calamities. Rather, it occurs when separate crises in different systems become entangled, feeding off of each other and producing damage greater than the sum of their parts. Consider fertilizer. The Persian Gulf region is a major producer of it, and roughly 1/3 of the world's seaborne fertilizer trade passes through the Strait of Hormuz. Moreover, both natural gas and sulfur are critical inputs for fertilizer production, and Persian Gulf supplies of these commodities have also been cut off. This has caused fertilizer plants in South Asia to shut down, while China, one of the world's largest fertilizer suppliers, has restricted exports to protect its domestic market. So global fertilizer prices are surging just as the spring planting season begins across the northern hemisphere. Around the world, governments are scrambling to secure fertilizer supplies, and concerns are growing about food security in developing countries and rising grocery prices in wealthier ones. Farmers have been advised to expect tighter supply and margin pressures. In the U.S., this has already resulted in the lowest planting of spring wheat since 1970. Now, add weather. Forecasts predict that 2026 will be one of the hottest years on record as the concentration of human-made greenhouse gases in the atmosphere continues to rise. Extreme heat accelerates moisture evaporation from soil, aggravates droughts, and reduces crop yields. Worse, there's an 80% chance that an El Nino will develop this year, altering global rainfall patterns and triggering droughts in some regions and floods in others. NASA estimates that El Nino harms crop yields on at least a quarter of the world's farmland, and there is a 25% chance that this will be a super El Nino, intense enough to cause globally catastrophic extreme weather. Research shows a strong El Nino can have an impact on global food supplies that causes 6 million children to go hungry, but these calculations do not include a global fertilizer shortage. Climate stress with adequate fertilizer is challenging. Climate stress without it is an entirely different order of crisis. Unfortunately, these two crises are largely locked in, and there's little we can do in the short term to prevent their collision during the 2026 growing season. Even if the Strait of Hormuz reopened tomorrow, it would take time to restore global supply chains. The seeds of the polycrisis have already been planted, both literally and figuratively. Yet food is only one system facing a shock. The Iran war is upending global energy markets, driving inflation and lowering economic growth around the world. And this is all occurring at a time when many countries are still burdened by record levels of public debt left over from the pandemic, something the International Monetary Fund has termed the fiscal version of long COVID. Research shows that food price shocks can act as a threat multiplier, transforming existing political dissatisfaction into widespread violent uprisings. As evidence, a global food price crisis in 2007 to 8 and a similar spike in food prices in 2010 to 11 caused riots and political instability in many countries. The pressures building this summer are broader than what we've seen in the past, and the political and humanitarian consequences will be severe. Our institutions were not built to manage interrelated crises. Defense ministries watch the Strait of Hormuz, agriculture departments track fertilizer prices, climate agencies issue El Nino bulletins, and Treasury officials supervise debt levels. Each institution monitors and tries to manage crises in a single system, but nobody is tasked with modeling and mitigating the consequences when apparently distinct crises converge. An effective response demands an integrated playbook. Contingency plans for this summer's harvest need to simultaneously account for fertilizer shortages and extreme weather. International coordination should extend to fertilizer allocation, not just oil reserves. A planned United Nations Fertilizer Coordination Initiative is a strong start, but developing countries also need urgent help diversifying their fertilizer import supply chains. Humanitarian organizations must prepare for dramatically elevated demand for food aid, and donors need to mobilize now, not after the harvests fail. In the longer term, the world's multilateral system needs standing capacity to monitor how crises in different domains interact, so that we stop being repeatedly blindsided by cascading crises that careful analysis could have anticipated. This is what polycrisis analysis seeks to address. The goal is not to replace specialists, but to develop the tools and foster the conversations that track risk interactions across silos before containable shocks compound into systemic breakdowns. None of this is happening at the required pace. Around the world, farmers are preparing to plant while facing both drought forecasts and disrupted supplies of fuel and fertilizer. They're on the front lines of this polycrisis right now, but soon we all may be embroiled in it. So Christopher Collins, who wrote this, is a fellow with the Polycrisis Program at the Cascade Institute at Royal Roads University and a visiting scholar at Massey College at the University of Toronto. And so Thomas Homer Dixon is ED of the Cascade Institute and Professor Emeritus. Waterloo, couldn't do it if I wanted to. Thomas is a Professor Emeritus at Waterloo. So yeah, that's that. Oh look, stock and oil prices have reversed some of their earlier moves after Axios. Okay, listen. Okay, listen, Max. I feel like fucking a fucked up Cassandra. Okay, because I literally report on this stuff. Like yesterday, I talked about the fact that Axios has put out this 45-day ceasefire kind of thing and all that. I think Axios is fucking RT. I think they are an arm of this government and they're helping him manipulate markets. That's what I think. Soylent fertilizer is people, or it's gonna be. Do I need to clip that? I probably do. That's my theory. That's my theory. Oh, that's right. Oklahoma passed a House bill for human remains for soy. Well, get ready, kids. If you have one of those gardening grannies, you better watch your back. I'd watch your six if you got a granny with a hoe or a trowel. Anyway. Yikes. That was a lot. And there's still so much more. We didn't even get to the Mar-a-Lago Accord, but we're going to get there because I gotta scratch that itch. Okay. I gotta scratch that itch. I might not do it this morning, but I'm going to do it some morning, like tomorrow. I know. It's nice to be agreed with. Or if your granny is a hoe. I don't like that word. There are green burial methods that turn your loved ones into fertilizer. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm down with all that. Like, do whatever you want. I really don't care. But I think, like, I could see the government going, dead people is fertilizer. I don't even want it. Humanure. Oh God, that's right. Being the change. We did watch that where you use human waste as fertilizer after a process, I guess, or something. I can't remember. Maybe I blocked it. I might have blocked it. My remains will generate more angel paste. Yeah, I want to burn, baby, burn, disco inferno, and I want that song playing when my box is going in the oven. You know what I'm saying? I want my daughter will do this for me. I know she'll bring a boom box, and as it goes in, she'll be like, "Disco inferno, burn, baby, burn, burn my mother down, burn it." Ivanka. Yeah, Ivanka already has that patented. Yeah, thanks, Obama. Oh, J. Rance. Oh my god. Oh my god, you guys are funny. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for coming to this late morning show. I heard a story about a woman with terminal cancer going to Pennsylvania with some pals to weave her casket with a willow reed maker. Oh my gosh, that's interesting. Plant me in rich loamy soil with a willow sapling above my heart. That's beautiful, Meowing Star. That literally could be a song. That's really pretty. That sounds nice. Oh, don't put angel paste on your cooter. No, it's not appropriate. Don't put it on your private parts. Don't do it. Don't do it. I need an angel paste. I need an angel paste picture. I'm going to do that. I'm donating my remains for medical research. That's cool. I think a lot of people. Oh, you know what? Actually, I want to recommend this because I'm going to read it. Bobo has read it and is obsessed with this author. It's probably pretty dusty and has a lot of cat hair on it, but Bobo, I'm reading this next because Bobo's almost done with it. But this is Mary Roach's book, Stiff. And it's about what? Oh, man, why won't that not? I don't know why it won't. Okay, anyway. The book is called Stiff. It's by Mary Roach. And it's about what happens when you die. The curious lives of human cadavers. And Bobo is just... She loved this fucking book. And so I can't wait to read it. And maybe, I don't think it's good for bedtime stories, probably. But I can't wait to read it. And yeah, so highly recommend Mary Roach. Yeah. And in fact, Bobo just picked up her newer book called Grunt, which is about the minds of soldiers. And so she's going to read that. So I guess Mary Roach, I can't remember what she is. I don't know, but she's written quite a few books that look very, very interesting. I have one of my besties is a mortician, so I actually have some insight into the mortician world. I love her. Oh, hi, JFK. How are you? Thank you. Good afternoon, my friend. Good to see you. But yeah, I can't wait to read this, to see Mary Roach. She's supposed to be pretty good, but her books look really interesting. There should be blank pages. Yeah, I agree. Anyway, so yeah, when I die, I want my friend to handle my body because I trust her. No, she won't. I mean, she would if I asked her, but I don't know. That seems kind of creepy. Hey, would you be my mortician? Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey. You want to handle my remains? Anyways, thank you so much for coming this morning, and we will do this again tomorrow. And we have, oh, wait a minute. We have a documentary tonight. Hold the phone, Joan. Hold the phone. Which one did I suggest? Oh, fucking fucks. What did I suggest, y'all? Do you remember? Oh. Did I write it down? No. Did I keep it anywhere? No. No, I didn't. Damn. What did I do? Okay, wait. Oh, Natchez. I know which it is. Oh my God. Okay, Natchez. Natchez. It's about a antebellum community and all of the residents in that community, and was supposed to be good. Oh, Jay, I love you. I'm only here because you guys show up. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Meowing. Thank you, everyone, for coming and being so gracious all the time. I really appreciate it. You don't know. I hope you know, but you may not know. But yeah, I was thinking of doing Natchez, which is, hold on, let me find it. I can't show you the fucking trailer because they always fucking strike us when we do that. But it got some good, it's from 2025. Oh man, where's the? Oh, here we go. Here, I'll show you. Oops, no, I won't. Wrong screen, silly. Okay, so this is the oh man, hold on, everybody. Mommy will get it. Don't worry a thing about it. Okay. Anyway, this is the documentary Natchez. And Natchez, Mississippi is famous for antebellum homes, but what's left out off of the tours? And so it spends time in this community of Natchez, Mississippi, and their kind of real obsession with antebellum, with the side of apocalypse watch. Exactly. Well, yes, we'll be monitoring what happens. So yeah. So starting tonight at actually, I'll open up the Discord room early so that we can monitor what's happening in the news for those who want to. But then at 6 p.m. Pacific, in Discord, I'll be showing Natchez. I'm probably not saying that right. Sharon Brown, you're my Southern belle. Can you tell me how to say this? Natchez, Mississippi. But yeah, so we'll be watching that, and you're welcome to join. I'll put all the connection information on my socials and on a YouTube post a little bit later on today. But 6 p.m. at least Pacific time, I will be showing this documentary, and you're welcome to come. Just mute your mic, kiddos. What's the term for a person who frequently talks about cooters? We should. Well, we do have the cooter trophy. If you must know, we've got the I don't know where did I put it? Hold on just a minute. I have it somewhere here. I don't know. Where's the cooter trophy? Wait, I don't know. Maybe I don't have it. Oh, here it is. Oh no, this is just the cooter tutor. Hold on. I missed him up. Oh, well, he's gone. Okay, never mind. Now I can't get the cooter tutor off of there. God damn it. Hold on, now I feel like I gotta take this off the screen or I'm gonna get all crazy about it. Where's my cooter tutor? Oh, whoops, no, that's not right. Wait, where's it? Oh man, god damn it. Why? Oh, maybe I don't have the cooter award here, but now I can't find the thing that I just put on the screen. I hate this system. Have I said that before? Okay. Where's the word cooter? Where? Cooter. What? I can't get rid of it. That's fine. All right. Oh, I know. Did you make an angel paste thing? What is a cooterist? Oh, that's a good one, Clark. That's a good one. Oh, yeah, the cooter lore is huge. It's important. It's important lore. It's definitely important. God, now I want to get Cooter Tutor off my screen, though. I'm going to be honest with you. He's ruining my vibe. There it is. Sorry. Whew. That was close. A cooterist. What is a cooterist? Angel paste turn into angel dust? No, most definitively not. It does not turn into angel paste or angel dust. I would not put it on my body because I had a fight with the woman who created angel paste. Well, or took it over from her dad. Because I asked her why she was supporting Nazis because she advertises pretty exclusively on RSBN. And she answered me. And she acted like she didn't know that the regime and that RSBN was a right-wing media machine. She didn't care because she is right-wing. So there's that. But yeah, we had a nice little exchange. I'll find that. I'm sure I screen capped it somewhere. Ridiculous. People are ridiculous. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I will definitely be back tomorrow morning, same time. Well, actually, yeah, probably the same time. Just to keep it simple this week as I take Bobo to work. So I'll be starting a little later at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, everything inside and outside of that. And then obviously tonight, it's documentary night. So don't miss it. All right. Take care.